Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and I'm doing the musical Star Trek. Not really. Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and we're doing a live version. My hair's all going mad. Sorry. We're doing a live version of the review of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, season 2, episode 9, Subspace Rhapsody, the musical episode, which I loved, by the way. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. So, without any further ado, does that make sense? Let's just get on with the episode, shall we? We'll go through it and I'll try and remember it. I've only watched it once this morning. I was going to watch it again, but, it got busy again at home. And I said I didn't get a chance to record a review, and as I usually do. So I thought I'd do it live. Copyright strike. Well, I'd be copyrighting myself because I just made it up. Anyway, that's Archmage Frey, by the way. Over on Twitch. He just lives on Twitch, does Archmage Frey. The mysterious man. Where were we? All right, so it's been super busy, so I didn't get a chance to record a review. So I thought, sod it, I'll do it live. We'll do it live. So off we go. Right, so let's get on with this. Make myself teach tiny. There we go. And right, so I forgot to mute it, I think. So don't be playing any of the songs, do we? Right, so off we go. So we should begin with the Star Trek Cinematic Universe. Is it going to bloody play or what? Is it playing? There we go. The Star Trek Cinematic Universe logo. Hang on, there we go. I'm no Wind Grace, hold the tune in a bucket. Right, so previously on, Chapel was not granted the fellowship. It's doing that again. Is thingamabob, StreamYard saying my Wi-Fi or my connection's not right good. But it says excellent connection on YouTube. By the way, we're live on YouTube and we're live on Rumble, I hope. Yes, we are. And we're live on Twitch. Yes, we are. I know we're live on Twitch because we've had a message, a chat from Archmage Frey. Right. So, where were we? I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, yes, she wasn't granted the fellowship at the Vulcan Science Academy. So, we learn that she's... hello, John. Welcome to the show. We learn that she's gone for another position with Dr. Roger Corby somewhere. I can't remember where. But remember, in the original timeline, like I said, this is a different timeline, so anything could happen. In the original timeline, she becomes engaged to Roger Corby, does Christine Chapel. So that's probably what's going to happen to her in the next 3 months, because apparently she's leaving for 3 months. Probably in between seasons. She'll probably be back. She'll probably be back at the beginning of season 3 saying, showing off an engagement ring. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with this. Hang on, where are we? Right. So, by the way, that's a lovely Jess Bush. If you want to meet her in person, if you go to Birmingham, the UK, not Birmingham, Alabama, I can't remember the date. Sometime in September, I think, but I could be wrong. They're doing a Destination Star Trek convention, and she's going to be there as well as Christina Chong and lots of other Star Trek people. I'm tempted. I want to go, but it's getting my son to go with me. I've got to take him with me, and he may not want to go, but we'll see. Right, we're reminded that Kirk and La'an know each other, or she knows him because she met him in an alternate timeline. That episode where she broke the timeline. So that's that. And then are we off now? No, right. So we're off now. There we go. Right, the Enterprise has encountered an unusual phenomenon. How do they describe it? Naturally occurring subspace. Oh, there we go. Subspace fold. That's what it's called. and it looks all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. But there it is. I don't know where it goes. Like I say, it's subspace, isn't it? So why is it appearing there? I don't know. But like I say, it's subspace is a separate dimension, isn't it? It's like another realm. There's supposedly an infinite number of subspace realms, according to Geordie LaForge in Next Generation. But anyway, so they found that, and then they found that if the channel subspace communications through them, it should go 3 times as fast. Right, so there they go. Triple the speed of subspace communications. Why? Don't know. It just will. So they've got to use lots of power and the ship systems to do these experiments on it. So Uhura has got to do intra-ship communications the old-fashioned way. So basically, she's being the operator. So she's doing bridge 214, hold please, and she should have her plug-in things in, shouldn't they? That's what she's doing. Oh, there we go. They're all asking a question. Pike to Uhura, have you hailed Captain Battelle? We learn her first name in this episode, which is Marie. I thought she was just going to be Captain Battelle forever. But she's called Marie, which is a death knell, because I think she's not going to last very much longer, but we will see. So he's going to get a call from Captain Battelle, and then we learn that Lieutenant James T. Kirk is beaming on board in a moment. But here's Captain Pike talking to Marie. They want to go on she wants to go on vacation with him to some place, but he's not over keen, so he's like fobbing her off and saying, he's busy. Can they do it another time? So he wants a rain check. All right, so we're in the transporter room. I have no idea where James T. Kirk's transporting from. Has a ship met them? I don't know. Are they near a planet that he's on? Don't know. It doesn't say. It just beams onto the Enterprise from some mysterious place. Remember, the transporters have a limited range. But anyway, so he's beaming aboard. Apparently, he's there to shadow number one because he's been made the first officer of the Farragut. So he's doing a bit of on-the-job training with number one. There he is. By the way, I can't work out the rank things on the sleeves. I've been trying to figure it out in my head, and I can't fathom it out. She's a commander, full commander, as far as I know. She's got 2 thick stripes on her sleeve. Remember, Captain Pike has 2 thick lines and a thin line. In the original series, it was a dotted line, the middle one, but the middle one's a thin line in this one. There we see Lieutenant Laan Noonien Singh. She's got 2 stripes there, but one's a thick one and one's a thin one. So does that mean she's a lieutenant commander? I don't know, and I can't see what he's. We'll see if we get a close up. So anyway, right. So he's got to shadow number one, and then we learn that Laan's got the hots for Kirk. We're not singing yet, by the way. We haven't got to that bit yet. But she's got the hots for Kirk, but she's got to do a security and all that. So she's got to do a job. Right. So go to sick bay now, and we learn that Christine Chapel going for there we go, a position on Dr. Corby's whatever, and we learn that she's been accepted. So there we go. So she'll be away for 3 months doing this and getting engaged, I presume, to Dr. Corby. But she doesn't want to tell Spock for some reason. Remember, they were having a relationship. But anyway, right. So back to Spock. He's in engineering, I think he is. They're trying to send a message through the subspace fold. And there you go. That's our 12th attempt at sending a message, and nothing's got through. And then what they call her, Pelia, she turns up and says, "Why don't you send music?" I've no idea why that makes a difference. I have foggiest, because they're sending data out there essentially. But I don't know what form communications in the 23rd century comprise of. I don't think it's like digital binary or anything like that. I don't know. I don't think it is. I could be wrong. So you just think it'd be like ones and zeros, but I don't know. In Star Trek: The Motion Picture, they talked about V'Ges sending the signal, a simple binary code on carrier wave signal radio. So they've obviously moved on from that. So maybe 23rd century communications isn't just binary data. Maybe it's something else more exotic. I don't know. But she suggests sending music and talking about the harmonics of music. Maybe that'll have a better. I don't know why I'd have a better chance of getting through than just regular data. I don't know. Maybe Pellia's just using her wisdom of thousands of years of being alive. I don't know. But anyway, so Nyota picks a song. She picks a like a show tune or whatever. Don't ask me what it is. I don't know. I'm no good. So they do that. And then the subspace, there we go. The subspace fold reacts. I don't know is this supposed to be like a living entity, or is it just some weird thing that what they're doing is making it react in a weird way? Is there intelligence behind it? I don't know. But anyway, something weird goes on, and all this distortion interacts with the ship. There we go, making everybody go dizzy. And before long, they'll start singing. But they do explain it. There we go. Spock's singing now. The intermix chamber and the containment field, etc. I don't know. I can't remember what he was singing like. If it were me, everybody'd be just doing like Pirates of Penzance. I am the very model of a modern Major General. That's about my limit. Anyway, so he's singing away. And they all do a pretty good job, to be honest, on this singing. Some people have said on the internet that they've detected a lot of auto tune. So what? So what if they have? I don't know. But just make sure we're still going, because my computer's been acting up. My new computer arrived today, so if you watch the unboxing, I'll be, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be setting all that up tomorrow. I'm waiting for some more memory to arrive. I'm boosting its memory a bit, this new computer. But anyway. So hopefully we'll be sorted. But I'm still plodding on with my old computer now. I'm leaning that way for some reason because of my microphone. Right, so he's singing away. He doesn't understand why he's singing. He realises he's singing, and nobody else is. There we go. I appear to be singing. I don't know. But then other people start singing. Jess Bush starts singing, and Babs, on whatever the hell his last name is, he starts singing. Is he English? I've not heard him speaking in a out of character, like in interviews and stuff. But when he was singing, I was thinking, is that an English accent, or is he British? I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've not looked him up, so I don't know. So they're singing away. There we go. They're listening to him. Why are we singing? It's most unusual, most peculiar. There you go. Ortegas is really getting into it now. She's like giving it all that singing. They're getting into it. Because they're actors, aren't they? And they like to, flex their musical chops, don't they? At every opportunity, they'll be loving this. But anyway, another example, by the way. There we go. You can see his 3 stripes, 2 thick bars and a thin bar. Just show he's a captain. But Ortegas have got 2 bars there. A thick one and a thin one. But she's supposed to be a lieutenant as well. So what's a lieutenant commander then? I thought a lieutenant were just 1 stripe. Ensign were no stripes. I thought a lieutenant were 1 stripe. I don't know. I'm baffled. Or maybe a lieutenant junior grade would be a thin stripe and a lieutenant would be a thick stripe. I don't know. I don't know how to work it out. But Mitchell's a lieutenant as well. Is she Gary Mitchell? I don't know. No, she's not. So she's singing away as well. And then number 1's singing as well. And Rebecca Romaine has a lovely singing voice. They're all pretty good at singing. If they use auto-tune, fair enough. Oddly enough, we see Pellia singing, but I don't think we hear her, because we see her singing along with other people, but she doesn't have a solo song. And they also hold off on. We don't see Uhura singing till quite late on in the episode, and I suspect one of the songs may have been cut out, because she mentions her and Christine singing in the galley, but we didn't see that. So either that's just a mention of it, something that happened, or it's a scene that were cut out. I don't know. Right, so they're trying to work out why they're all singing. Kirk comes onto the bridge. So they're all still singing. Christina Chong's singing. She's got a great voice, Christina Chong. I think she's a proper singer. I think she has got some records out, I think. I could be wrong. But she's a pretty good singer. They're all at it. There we go. We appear to be singing the most confounding thing. I'm getting it all wrong. I know, I don't care. Is she singing there? Oh, she is. Yeah, we saw her. Yeah, but she doesn't get a song to herself until later on. Right, so then we start with the finally onto the opening credits. Finally, and they've changed this up a bit. A bit of a missed opportunity. They didn't have him singing the Space, the Final Frontier thing, which they should have done, shouldn't they? Space, the Final Frontier. Shouldn't they? Should have done that, shouldn't they? But they didn't. And they also could have used the lyrics for the Star Trek song. I think Gene Roddenberry wrote some lyrics for it. I think it was released as a record. I think Nichelle Nichols released it. So why didn't they use that? Don't know. They just have like a choir going, la, 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 giving it all that. But yeah, missed opportunity there. I'm sure Robert Marbinet will be kicking off about that. Anyway, music by Nami Melumad. Right, so that's who's responsible for this musical episode, I guess. Right, so off we go into the episode. I still wish they'd put episode titles on. I do. I wish they would. Like proper Star Trek. Lower Decks. I'm starting to enjoy Lower Decks. Oh my God. Who'd have thunk it? There you go, Kirk singing He Sang Too. So the Spock quickly surmises what's going on. He gets to the bottom of it. There we go, quite quickly. It's a quantum uncertainty field. So you think like the was it the Heart of Gold might pop up at any time. Is that no? That's the infinite improbability drive, isn't it? Not uncertainty. It's a quantum uncertainty field. So they use they've got a plan to use the Heisenberg compensators from the transporters to seal the rift and through the deflector dish, fire a beam from the deflector dish using the Heisenberg compensators to do something, quasi-scientific. And by the way, the reason they're all singing is because basically another universe is leaking through. They're kind of mixing up like the quantum realm and the many worlds theories, where there's like an infinite number of universes and where anything can happen. So there's a universe where everybody sings everything, and that's kind of leaking through and making people sing. But they're not just singing willy-nilly randomly. We find out that they're singing when the emotions are heightened and stuff like that. That's when they burst into song. Also, music. Music is heard. They say, "Where's that music coming from?" So they can hear the music as well. They're not just singing. Just us, the viewers, can hear the music. They're hearing it as well. So anyway, what they're going to do, they describe it as a zipper. So they're going to zip it back up using, jiggery pokery from the Heisenberg compensators and the deflector array. But obviously it doesn't work. But anyway. There we go. That's when they talk about the quantum realm. That's why they're all singing. And then La'an says, are we not going to? I hope we're not going to all turn into bunnies. And Dr. Mabenga says, I would prefer not to be a bunny either. Right. So there we go. They're using it to close the field. So off they go. Now this is Uhura checking the communications logs, and then we see that Dr. Corby's sent a message to Christine Chapel, and Spock sees it, and says, "Oh, I presume that she's been accepted. Why hasn't she told me? I don't know, but because they've kind of fallen out, but not really. So anyway, what else have they got? While we're here, let's have a look. USS Farragut, outgoing message from the transporter chief. It's probably just saying we've received Lieutenant Kirk. It should have shown the USS Farragut pulling alongside, shouldn't it, and beaming beaming Kirk over. Internal USS Enterprise transporter, outgoing message, Lieutenant Una. That'll be about Kirk. Outgoing message from Christine Chapel. Dunno. Enterprise engineering outgoing. These will be all just it's internal, isn't it? Internal communications, and they're two external ones. On an external one, USS Cayuga, Captain M. Battelle, outgoing hail. But anyway, right. So where were we? Spock asks Uhura if what were the contents of the message, and she says, "I can't tell you that." And he says, "Of course, that would be unethical." By the way, we're not seeing Spock laugh or do any that sort of stuff, but we do see him get a little bit emotional in this episode. But that's understandable. And he does reference it. Right, so they're doing the harmonics data to go through the deflector array and the Heisenberg compensators. There's Kirk helping Una. He's got to go to the transporter room next, I think. I think they're going to sing in a minute. Yes, they are. So, yeah, they're going to start singing about Una and the way she's kind of misunderstood. People think she's, aloof, but she doesn't want to be. She wants to sing in front of everybody. That's what she wants. There we go. To regale them all with her renditions. That's what she wants to do. But so there we go. There you go. And Kirk's singing along as well. La'an's watching, kind of being a little bit jealous, I think. But anyway. Oh, yes, that's what she's watching. And Una is sort of like telling all her releasing all her emotional baggage, basically. And La'an suspects that this field from the subspace fold could essentially be a security risk, because people could be, when they start singing, they could be telling all sorts of secret information about about themselves or about the Enterprise, and not be aware that they're doing it, or not be able to help saying all this stuff. But then she starts singing. She gets back to her quarters. A sad little song about basically keeping everything inside, and she doesn't want people to know what pain she's in. But she's a good singer. I did like the songs in this for the most part, by the way, and I did like the episode. She's not dreaming, but imagining being in a relationship with Kirk, and I suspect she's going to disappear at some point. Is La'an. I think it'll wait till right to the end of when Strange New Worlds finishes. But I think she's going to disappear from history myself. I think they're going to write her out of history, because they keep mentioning, mistakes and stuff to do with time and all that, and erasing things. And I think she's going to be erased from history, which is why Kirk doesn't know her in the original series. But as I said, it's another timeline. Maybe this is how they'll fix it all, so that all that stuff before, with Khan and all that being in 2022 as a kid, I think that's not going to happen. It's going to all get reset. By the way, there she is. Look, thick stripe and a bit. I'm sorry to keep going on about these, but I want it explained to me. By the way, that's the watch that I think that's Kirk's watch from when they went to the 21st century, I think. Anyway, she's singing away. Like all the others, she's belting it out because she's a proper singist, is Christina Chong. But here she's telling Captain Pike that it could be a security risk, and she's worried that people might say the wrong thing when they're singing. Right, so there's Kirk and somebody else, I can't remember who, sorting out the transporters. Oh, it's his brother Sam. It's his brother Sam Kirk. See, he's just got one stripe, look. So he's definitely a lieutenant. Kirk's just got one stripe as well, look. So he's Lieutenant Kirk. So all the ones on the Enterprise, are they lieutenant commanders? I am baffled. I am baffled by this. Anyway, so off they goes. They beam the thing into from the deflector dish, and it doesn't work, obviously. There we go. There's a big goof, and they've made it worse, basically. But they don't find out yet because Captain Battelle calls from the USS Cayuga, and they start singing about having a private conversation on the bridge, and she started singing as well. So it's spreading. So they're singing to each other, going on about private conversations. Pointless little song, but anyway. What's the face? La'an hangs up basically before they can embarrass themselves even more. 'Cause he even ends up on his knees because she's telling him that you always do this, you hide, run away from stuff and all that. But then we learn in here that they're all the ships in the Federation network. They're all starting to sing. So we've got the Lexington there, the Congo with a K, yay! We've got that one there, the Republic. What else? Farragut, Enterprise. The Farragut and Enterprise, so it was nearby. So the Farragut must have dropped off Kirk, but it didn't say. It just said he would arrive, and it didn't say, what were happening. But anyway. And we learn it actually goes beyond the Federation in a bit. But so anyway, we're talking about how they're confessing their deepest emotions, and it's all to do with when their the emotions are heightened. So they've got to find a way to stop it. But they're talking about if they could isolate and transport part of the subspace fold and do tests on it, because they suggested basically shooting it with photon torpedoes, but so that could make things worse, could like destroy everything. This is La'an and Una, and Una's saying it's obvious you've got a thing for Kirk, and so she's worrying that she might say the wrong thing to him when she starts singing, but so she decides to just tell him all about how she knows him. But they're having a little sing song first. And for some reason, she turns off the grav plating, so they do a bit of floating, as we'll see. They're singing as well. There you go. That's where they're doing a little bit of floating about for some weird reason. I don't know. It's a musical. Yeah. So anyway, so they're all at it, singing away. All about, saying what's in your heart. You say what's in your heart when you're singing, don't you? So here we go. I think this is where she tells him soon. There you go. The beaming the stuff to engineering, but then it all goes wrong. There's a big explosion or a big rumble, and so that so the cat. So that's they beamed a tiny amount of it, and it almost destroyed engineering. They said doesn't show it, but it does. Let's have a look. We've got any more ships. We've got the Potemkin there. Any more? Oh, the Cayuga's there, so they're quite nearby. Still got the Farragut there, hanging about. They say they're close to the Klingon border. By the way, the Klingons do arrive later on. We'll get to that. There's a cool little map. I must admit, I do like it, showing the neutral zone, the Klingon neutral zone, bordering the Klingon Empire. Right, getting a hail. I think this is a hail from the Klingons. I think it might not be. I don't know. Oh no, yes, it is from the Klingons. There we go. Cool looking Klingons, I must admit. I think actually these Klingons are the best looking Klingons I've seen on this show so far. With an eye patch. Is this J.G. Hertzler? Because I'm sure I saw his name on the end credits. I'm sure I did. We'll see when we get there. So is this Martok? Is this a ancestor of Martok? I don't know. Is that the House of Martok crest? I couldn't tell you. So we learn that they've started singing, and they call it a big, it's a huge dishonor because obviously Klingons. Why don't Klingons like singing? Don't they listen to Klingon opera? We've heard Worf sing Act 2 on Melota, haven't we? We've heard that. So Klingons do like singing. So maybe they just didn't like what they were singing. So they're on the way now to take it out on the Federation, crossing the neutral zone. Basically an act of war into Federation space. But they keep saying if we shoot on them, it'll be an act of war. But they've already committed the act of war by crossing the neutral zone. But never mind. Right. So we're talking about how to take out the Klingons, and so La'an and Kirk are going to work it together again to learn how to defeat the Klingons. And Spock and Uhura have got to work out how to deal with this subspace fold thing, this musical thing going on. And this is what we're talking about. Start singing when we feel overwhelming emotion, and then the door whooshes open, and she says, "Like now," and then because they see that Christine's celebrating leaving the Enterprise for 3 months, and then Spock arrives saying, he congratulates her, and why didn't you tell me? And so then they all burst into song again. This news changes everything, and all that. And she's singing about how she's surprised how good it feels to be. Who's this fella here? He's not a very good shaved head there, is he? She's surprised how good it feels to, just go. But she'll miss everybody. She'll miss the Enterprise and all that. But she's happy that she's leaving. There you go. She's worked so hard. So they're all having a nice song and dance, but Spock kind of gets upset. There you go. She says she's ready, and she's lovely, isn't she? And Spock kind of walks out in a huff. This one here. Now then, this is a thing. La'an talks about Katinga class ships. I thought they were new for when the motion picture came out. So what was that? 2022. I can't remember what year it's supposed to be. Is it 2270? Is it 2271 in it? Motion picture time. And I thought the Katinga class were new then. I thought there was still, D7s were the thing, but she's calling these Katinga class. So there you go, a good old decade or more before the motion picture. But anyway, so they're trying to work out how to get through their defenses. But now she tells him all about how she knew him before. She met the alternate version of him from another timeline, and they had a connection, and basically he died. I don't think she tells him that, but they liked each other. But then he's saying, he says, I'm not that Kirk. You were a different man. So say now, this Kirk looks at her like the other Kirk looked at her, but he says no, that's he's in a relationship, and we learn that he's in a relationship with Carol, who presumably is Carol Marcus. She's on Starbase 1, and she's pregnant, so she's pregnant with David. I'm trying to work out the times now. Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, I think is 2285, isn't it? So it'd be, I don't know what year we're in now. We're in about 2255-ish, aren't we? We'll call it 2256. So 25, yeah, so that's about right. It's about right is the time, isn't it? He'd be in his mid to late 20s, wouldn't he? So yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. So that's when we learned that. So she's upset about that because he's in a relationship. Right, this is Uhura. Who's she looking for? Oh, she's looking for Spock. Spock's still hurting about Christine. There you go. He's saying he's trying to suppress his emotions because he's trying to be Vulcan about it, but he's also human. You can see he's upset about it, but he's not being over emotional. He's trying to handle it like a Vulcan, but he does admit that it hurts, and he does burst into song again. But it's quite a quiet song. Is this the X one? I am the X. Yeah, it is. That one, isn't it? Nice little song. Nice little song. There you go. I solve for Y, then the word sounds. He's the X. Something to do with maths because it's Spock. I like science. It is the code that they're looking. They're trying to find a pattern in the code of the subspace fold. There we go. And she finds it. Oh, right, he's sodded off now, a Spock, at the end of his song, and now she's left alone. So she has her first big song to herself, and she's singing about the loss of her family and how she likes to be alone. She likes to help people, but she feels better when she's working by herself. All that, and it's a nice little song. And she belts some parts out as well. Although I do think Christina Chong's a better singer myself, but never mind. But you'd think they'd have Uhura singing a hell of a lot more in this episode. I know she does. She does this song, and I think she sings at the end as well. But you think they'd have Uhura singing more, wouldn't you? There we go. I'm solo. But anyway, she susses it out because of this song. I'm not sure about what's happening here with this this display. It's like the numbers are going off into the distance, aren't they? I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason, but she works it out. She finds the pattern in the data. There we go. She goes to tell the captain. She's run some simulations. She knows what to do. They've got to get, there we go. They've got to get to that number, whatever that means. But they've got to get everybody singing. So they reach that number. It's a magic number. Why 344? I don't know. Does it have a cosmic significance? I've no idea. But if they get everybody on the ship singing, and they get to that magic number, it'll do something magical and seal the rift, or make the rift disappear. Not a rift, fold. The fold disappear magically, because modern Star Trek doesn't do science very well, does it? Time crystals, etc. But anyway, so she sussed that out. So they've got to get everybody singing. Right, so there we go. Saying like an ensemble number. He says, no, the whole ship. This way we learn they've got 200 crew on the ship, which is about right. They mentioned the number in the cage, don't they? How many crew? But we learn when Kirk is on the ship, it's over 400 crew, isn't it? So obviously there's going to be a big refit coming, and the cabins are going to be made smaller, aren't they, to fit double the crew on. That's my theory. And then Captain Kirk could throw away, rip out Pike's open fireplace and his cooking stuff. Anyway, so they've got to get Uhura to inspire the ship to sing, and which obviously she does. So Pike gives a little speech and it says, you're now going to hear from Lieutenant Uhura, Ensign Uhura. Then she goes, hi everyone, I'm Ensign Uhura. I'm your communications officer. Because she's from Barnsley originally. But anyway, so everybody starts singing. There we go. She starts singing. It's all about the Enterprise. Now they're a crew and they're all family, etc. And they've got to work together. There we go. So they're all dancing and all that jazz, like West Side Story. So they're all singing away. And even Pellier starts singing in a minute. We might see it. It's going to start. Anyway. The numbers slowly going up to get to that. There we go. But we don't hear her singing. Wonder why. I bet she can sing. We don't hear it for some reason. But everybody's singing away, and it nearly gets there. They just need a little extra boost, and the boost is coming in a minute because the Klingons arrive. There we go. It's up to 281. Everybody's at it, singing away. Here we go. Now the Klingons arrive. They're singing, like a look, dancing as well, singing, giving it all. What's that? Giving it all that, singing like a rap band. I thought it was great. I loved it. There they are, and they put it over the top nearly. They just need a little bit more oomph. But even the ships are dancing. Look, I'm fine with it. I think it's great. They're all singing, 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 singing. There we go. They're even dancing, and that I think that does it. That there we go. That gets it to 344. You can see the line there, and then the magic happens. Oh, there we go. Hang on, I've gone past it. The magic happened. Hang on, I've gone too far. We're going to see it now. No, I've gone too far. Go back again. And then there we go. Does it. And magic and the jump about and boom. There we go. They've saved it. By the way, spoilers. Spoilers for this episode. I've got it in the title, you know. And the subspace fold is turned into sparkles. So there we go. So they've saved the day. And they learn that it has worked. Nobody's singing on any other Federation ships, and Spock is sent to deal with the Klingons, who, remember, have committed an act of war by crossing the neutral zone. They kind of overlook that. Spock goes and drinks some blood wine with them. Here we're learning that La'an told Kirk the truth about how she knows him, and it didn't go well. Never mind. Marie Battelle has arrived on the Enterprise. He's making a beef bourguignon, which is, I don't know, beef stew. We'd call it here, I suppose. But it's French, so they'll probably put wine in it. But anyway, he's making that, and she's a bit miffed with him. There you go, because he didn't want to go to that place, and but she's saying. The good news is, they can still go on holiday, but the bad news is she's to go on a top priority mission. I suspect, but see, they're still kissing, look, still happy. I suspect that she's gonna go off and get killed by the Gorn, because I think next week's episode is the Gorn episode, the season finale called Hegemony, and I think she's going to get topped by the Gorn, because we've learned her first name, and she's all happy with Christopher Pike, and you can't have people being too happy. So I think she's going to die. I think the Cayuga's going to get destroyed. Anyway, there we go. That's for the Klingons. Spock dealt with that with some blood wine. He came wobbling onto the bridge. What else? Then she starts singing again while she's doing her work. Uhura starts singing again, giving it all that. And they all look at her. She says, "It's an earworm." Would that be a 23rd century term, earworm? I don't know, but she says that. And that's the end of the Enterprise. End of the, end of the episode. And there we go. Hang on, I want to see who... I saw J.G. Hertzler's name. Earworm. Don't want to miss the end credits. Come on, you buggers. Special guest stars. Why? And it has a special song at the end. Yes, the end of the Enterprise. No. Right, that's Melanie Scrofano. That's Battelle, isn't it? Who else we got? Oh, Bruce Horak. That's it. Not bloody J.G. Hertzler. Why have I got him on my brain? So Bruce Horak, were he the Klingon? I don't know, because I didn't see Hemmer in it. That's who we're thinking of. And Carol Kane, yeah. Wrong Fu. That's a cool. Oh, Jenna Mitchell. Right. Wrong Fu. Oh, that's it. Why were I thinking J.G. Hertzler? Probably because I've seen him for that Star Trek Destination Trek thing, that convention. That's probably why I'm thinking of it. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. So there we go. There we go. So that's the end. So that was the musical episode. I think it's going to be polarizing. I think, it's going to be maybe, a bit of a Marmite episode, as we say over here. One-eyed Klingon. Yeah, maybe so. I'm just guessing because he was the featured Klingon, wasn't it? And I don't know. I didn't notice anyone else, that looked like Bruce Hoare. I don't even know what he looks like, 'cause I've only seen him as Hemmer, but I'm just a guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to have a look on IMDb. Shall we look now? Sod it. Let's have a look, see if it says. I bet it doesn't. Right, so we're live. What the hell? Right. What's it called? Subspace Rhapsody cast. Right, let's have a look. I bet it's not on IMDb. I'll have a look, but it'll just say the regular crew, won't it? I bet. Oh no, Bruce Horak as Gargok. So I'm guessing that's the Klingon. Yes, it is. Yes, he did play the Klingon. There we go. Right, I'll prove it to you. Hang on, let me copy this over here. I'll go full screen on that, and then I'll show you. I'll show you. Oh dear. There we go. Bruce Horak, Gargok. We have located the abominable source of our dishonor and will destroy it immediately. Kapla. So there we go. So he was the Klingon. I was right. So there. So no. Anyway, nice to see him still working and getting paid. Right, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and I liked the songs. And actually, it did get a little bit of a tear in my eye a couple of times. But I'm like that with musicals. I love my musicals, some of them. But like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was fine. I don't know why people are kicking off. As I said, it's probably going to be polarizing and a bit divisive, etc. And as I said, it could be a bit of a Marmite episode. You'll either love it or hate it. I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I'm not going to go as far as 9 because, although some things were advanced upon in the episode, it wasn't really like what they call it, like a what's the word now? I can't remember the word. Like the story arc episode. I can't remember the term. They used to use it a lot in the X-Files. For episodes that push the main story forward. It wasn't really one of those, was it? Although we did get little nuggets of stuff, didn't we? But next week's the final episode of this season, Hegemony, which I suspect is the Gorn. They were mentioned earlier on in the series, the season. They mentioned earlier on that they're up to no good. So will we see? Well, we will see more Gorn because we saw him in the trailer, didn't we? X equals Spock. Well, yes, he is the X. I don't know. I don't know. X-Files, yes, that's where you're coming from. So I'm dead thick. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I don't know why. I can understand why people won't like it. You know, get people say, "Oh, this is not what Star Trek's all about." I mean, I got into a bit of a discussion with my mate earlier on about it. He's not seen the episode. He doesn't watch new Star Trek, and I'm telling him, some people are, they're hating on it already, and because Star Trek's got to be serious now. And I said, really, ever since Next Generation came along, so like from season 3 of Next Generation onwards, Star Trek kind of became serious for the most part. I know there was some comedic episodes, but it had to be. When I say serious, I don't mean straight faced and all that, but super kind of consistent, and which is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But I think it became a bit too consistent, and it kind of painted itself into a corner sometimes. But now I think it's deliberate as well. I think Strange New World is being more like the original series, which were a bit looser because it was made in a different time and it was a new thing with Star Trek. So they could basically do whatever they wanted, and you could have kind of weird episodes and where strange things happen. I mean, they had bloody gunfight at the OK Corral and stuff like that, didn't there? And caused by aliens and stuff. So why couldn't they have a musical episode caused by a subspace fold and an alternate reality seeping in and causing everybody to start singing? What's wrong with that? Don't know. It worked for Buffy, and it worked for was it How I Met Your Mother? Was it that one? No, I don't know. Whatever. It worked for that. So, and it worked for Star Trek. I really enjoyed it. So there. So, sue me. No, don't sue me. I've no money. I've just spent all my money on a new computer. So anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. So thanks, Grace, for listening to me waffle on. And thanks, John, for saying hello. And that's Mage Frey on Twitch, giving me a copyright strike for my beautiful baritone. But Puppets next season. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, Grace says. Puppets next season. Yeah, bloody puppet. That's my Spike impression. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. What were it? Last season, we had the fairy tale one, didn't we? Which I really liked that episode, mostly because we got to see a lot of cleavage in it, which is a good thing in my book. This season we had the musical one. So, yeah, Puppets next season. What the hell? What the hell? Either puppets or dinosaurs, but probably puppets. Trying to think of something else weird that other series have done. I don't know. Like I said, every series at some point has got to have a Groundhog Day episode, hasn't it? Where it repeats itself over and over. But Star Trek's done that already, hasn't it? Anyway, right, we'll leave it there. So, no, hang on. Back on puppets and a black and white episode. Yeah, probably. Could be. I mean, they could have a holodeck episode. I know the Enterprise are not supposed to have holodecks, but they had them in the animated series, didn't they? On the original series Enterprise. They had them on the bloody Discovery, didn't they? They had a holodeck for training because it showed Captain Lorca and I forgot the bloody names, and somebody else fighting Klingons, in a recreation of like a holodeck, even though they weren't supposed to exist. But never mind. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other. And I'm sure I'm going to say something else, and I can't remember what it was. It's probably vitally important, but never mind. I loved it. 8 out of 10. We'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look for that. See, he's bloody commenting now. Hey, Discovery used holograms as long-range transmission too. Yes, it did, didn't it? Yes, it did. Yes, I hated that. Glad they did away with that, because I hated that. I did. Even in season 1, hated it. And I quite enjoyed season 1 of Discovery. To be completely honest, I did. I quite enjoyed season 1 of Discovery because it was new and I didn't know what was really going on. And yeah, I could see there were, problems, but I just wanted to know what was happening next week. It kept me watching. But anyway, never mind. Right. I'm going. Can I go now? Because I want to get something to eat. Right. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say the. Hang on. I'm going now. Bye. I always get it wrong, don't I? I've got my list here of the videos that I play, for my outros and intros. And I can never find them. Right. Anyway, bye.